Let's, huh?
You look really serious.
This is serious business. The whole world is at stake here. I had a lot of scripts, for the last few times I did this welcome, but I'm just winging it now. But let's just take a moment to be peaceful and still together, each in our own way. Let's start by being still for a moment. Okay. So, for those of you who have been here, it seems like for weeks, but just a few days, welcome back. And hello to all you folks who are just joining us today. And welcome to participating in the living tradition of peace building here at Mohonk Mountain House. This has been going on since 1895. There was a great presentation about the history, but today's really cool because it's a focus on youth and the future of peace. And that really keeps this living tradition moving forward on into the future which we all need to create. And just really briefly, we moved the Peace Crane project to just outside the parlor here. And if you notice coming up the grand central stairway, there are peace cranes hanging from some high up ceiling. And each single crane comes from another country. And those groups of cranes that you can see we just hung up here, each one is 1,000 cranes, and it comes from Hiroshima, Japan, and you know why. Somebody dropped a little data card, a 32 gig Sony data card over here a few rows back yesterday. If it's yours, you can claim it. And Philip Helmick, who's sitting over here and did a great presentation yesterday, I just want to honor him. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Philip. Happy birthday to you.
So he refused to give me a number about how old he is. He wanted you to know he is ageless and eternally youthful. Okay, I think we can just get right into it. So Dot Maver, who's been a peace builder extraordinaire around the world for quite some time, is going to come up and take it from here.
Thanks. Thank you, and that acknowledgement I sense is for everyone. And we're going to do just a brief recap, and so I'm going to invite some friends up in a second, but first I'd like to invite Sandra Smiley up. And we're going to enter this space and prepare this space together this morning as we prepare for our young adult panel. And I also want to say, Sandra, while you're up here and on the spot, I want to honor your dad, Keith Smiley. And I know his name has been mentioned a couple of times, but in my heart I know that talk it over at Mohonk about peace and peace building happens causally because of your father and your ongoing legacy, pulling the thread through. So let us just say thank you and honor Sandra. That's fine. So what we're going to do this morning at the Quaker meeting, Sandra read into circle a beautiful reading, and I invite us now to take a moment. I will sound the Tibetan singing bowl. We'll go into the silence together and Sandra will read this. We'll spend just a short time in the silence together. And as Wellesley Tudor Pole, founder of Chalice Well and the Silent Minute, has said, never forget the power of silence.
We come together this morning to remind one another to rest for a moment on the forming edge of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, taking time to look into one another's faces and see their communion, the reflection of our own eyes. This house of laughter and silence, memory and hope is hallowed by our presence together.
And Sandra and I invite you to take just a moment, stand up, turn to a few other people. Peace be with you and with you.
Peace be with you. Nikki, peace be with you. There's lots of chairs here. There's lots of chairs. Lots of chairs.
Thank you. And now one on behalf of humanity. Peace be with you.
And with you.
So I want to invite up with me now a triangle of peace builders, Victoria, Dior, and Lena. They, along with Casey, who you'll meet on the young adult panel later, are students at Rondout Human Rights Club, actually Rondout High School, but are with the Human Rights Club. And when you hear this, well, don't go away, stand over here. Yeah, there you go. I know we're in the limelight. Can we cover that blue light that's blinding us? Thank you. Right, Victoria. Oh. All right, and we have longer than 5 minutes. Don't trust that sign. Okay, so this lovely triangle representing the most stable sacred geometry symbol on the planet, which is why I invited them up. I said, please have my back. I've been asked to do a recap of the weekend. Can you believe it? In like 3 minutes or less? Okay, wait till you hear it. We're almost ready. So, and they are being acknowledged, the Rondout Human Rights Club. They're being acknowledged by Mohonk Consultations for their distinguished achievement on June 14th. Right? I said, that's what I'm talking about. But first I'm going to take us back a few decades. So you know I'm doing this, so put up with me for just a minute. I'm going to take us back a few decades, and I'm just going to remind us of what it was like when things were still pretty cloudy and murky around this peace building thing. Peace building wasn't even a word It was peacemaking and peacekeeping and, well, let's build, create, peace, build. Then it became peace-building. Now, there's a peace-building support office at the United Nations. Snap. So, peace impact at the Alliance for Peace Building in Washington, D.C. is an initiative to get the word peace building in the dictionary. So I wish that state senator were still here, but somebody must know her. Let's tell some folks we want peace building in the dictionary. So this was the song that I used to open almost everything with because there's something happening here. Huh? What it is ain't exactly clear. Right, let's just do that part because that's what we really know. But now we can. That's not true. But now we can all sing it. Just that slide. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Now, but Dior's going to remind you in a moment. It's absolutely clear. I used to say clear as mud. It's not clear as mud anymore. It's clear. We are landing peace building. We are landing how to create and sustain peace. So this morning I woke up and I'm thinking, okay, if they'll agree to do this with me, because we pulled through the history, right, Friday night, and set a big global context for what's happened since the 60s all the way through to now. And look where we are. I mean, does it not make your heart sing? I get a little passionate about it because, as you're going to be reminded by our #1 speaker, we need to be on fire out here with the fire of love. So, now it is pretty clear. So I woke up with this song this morning. Joy to the world. Come on. All the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Now that's all we're doing to that song, but now we're going to do it again. So everybody sing. All right, you ready? Joy to the world. All the boys and girls. Yeah, joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me.
One more time. Joy.
Seriously, for posterity's sake, you got it. Let's lift it. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Now we're getting ready. Actually, we're helping our 4 young adult panelists to prepare their voices as well. So, thank you. Thank you. So, then we came into Saturday morning and we had this incredible moment with the Smiley family. And were you as touched as I was with Sandra and her son Eric, who is the president? A heart touch like that in a public meeting space doesn't happen that often. It happened here in this room that we now know, thanks to Louisa, and we're about to hear from Eli, has been home to all these conferences, Talk It Over at Mohonk conferences, over these 150 years. Right? And here's the thing. This is what's getting me, could almost choke me up this morning. I'm feeling it. I've been here a lot of times over these last 4 years. Thank you, Smiley family, and Mohonk Consultations. I have to tell you, this is the first time I feel like we've so landed something, it's beyond the words, it's beyond the theory. We're nailing it. And friends from New York who were watching yesterday in a group, after the panel in the afternoon, they wrote, "You guys are landing it. You're landing it today at Mohonk." So we then moved into hearing those keynotes. Philip Helmick and Dr. Sakina Yacobi talk about fearlessness and fire and passion, laying out the weave. Philip, you did it beautifully. The weave of where we've been, where we are, where we're going, the pain and the suffering, and we heard it firsthand from this beautiful peace builder from Afghanistan. It touched us deeply, but we knew, in spite of the pain and suffering, that we are moving through this all systems breakdown. We're in the breakthrough part, folks. We are. Own that. Thank you. Own that. Tell that story. So we moved on throughout the day. In the afternoon, we heard Jeffrey talk about the work at the River Phoenix Center. We heard Masuma talk about her work with the SDGs. We heard Solange talk about her work in El Salvador. And once again, we know in our hearts, it's not that peace is possible. I'm changing that one. Peace is probable. Peace is happening. Peace is. Peace is. So, my friends Dior, Victoria, and Lena have joined me up here because they are going to share with you, before we hit an absolute highlight of the day with the youth, the young adult panel, they're going to share with you what has touched them and what their takeaway is in the moment. So get ready.
Hello, I'm Dear Williams from I'm Dear Williams from the Human Rights Club at Rondout Valley High School. I'm very excited for the youth panel today, but I wanted to speak about how yesterday was so inspiring to me, and I wanted to thank Dot for letting me speak. And yesterday was inspiring to me because it was beautiful to see how many people share the same values and share the same want to change as much as you do, and to share how not only how they talked about it, but all the panelists were so hands-on, and the fire, as Dot said, that they showed firsthand. And that was inspiring because I would want to construct that in my own community.
Hi, my name is Victoria Nazario. I'm the Vice President of the Rondout Valley High School Human Rights Club. A part of the conference that really touched my heart was when Dr. Sakina Yacobi shared her story. It really opened my eyes to all of the people of her country.